guys! Okay, so today we're going to kind of talk about oil and what kind of oil you should be using in your kitchen and what you shouldn't have in your kitchen and what you should be using when you're cooking and what kind of oil you should just use when you're making salads or anything like that. So first, I kind of want to talk about the bad oils, what we shouldn't be using. So the first kind of oil we're going to talk about is canola oil, which is a type of vegetable oil. Okay, so canola oil, to just be honest, is like a freak of nature, okay? So just to kind of tell you how it's processed. First, the oil is squeezed from the seeds at an extremely high pressure. Okay, so then you have all these extra proteins left over, like the seed capsules. You have all this protein left over, and they make canola cakes out of these. So they push it all together, and this is your protein that's left. And this is washed in lye, which is sodium hydroxide. Okay, so it's washed in lye, and it's sodium hydroxide. So we don't want that anywhere near our food, coming near our bodies, okay? So then after this process, that is what separates the natural impurities. So first of all, natural impurities. Okay, so that's flag number 2 when we're talking about canola oil, okay? Then this is chilled, the oil that they've pressed is chilled to solidify the wax, so it separates, okay? So it's chilled and it's solidified, the wax is removed, and then the oil is washed in a bleaching process, okay? They wash oil in a bleaching process, okay? Now this is because canola oil is rancid. It smells awful, but you don't know that because it goes through a bleaching process because it takes out the smell of it. So those are a lot of flags that's going on in the canola oil family, okay? Aside from being a freak of nature to how to get it processed to just to be an oil, the high pressure, the washing it in bleach, the separating of it, the making the canola cakes, all of that, it is also, canola oil is always promoted as having high in omega-3s, but it doesn't, because after all the heavy processing it goes through, it loses the omega-3s. So if you ever see, like, people always talk about canola oil has great omega-3s and great fatty acids, it doesn't. It has lost it because of all the processing it goes through. So it's also not heart healthy. It doesn't have anything in it that is going to help you lower cholesterol or help fight off heart disease. It's not a high heat stable oil, so you should never use it to like high cooking temperatures. So that's kind of the downsides of canola oil. And I'm just touching on everything, just very basic because I don't want to make this video too long. So canola oil is a type of vegetable oil, okay? Now talking about just vegetable oils and like the broad spectrum, they're too high with polyunsaturated fats. It's too high, so you don't want to be consuming that. They oxidize too quickly after you consume it. So when it oxidizes too quickly, it's gonna result in inflammation in your cells. So that means, getting inflamed. So we don't want to do that, okay? That's going to make you feel puffy and your cells don't need that. And then also the oxidized fats can also lead to heart disease and cancer. So those are things we want to stay away from. They don't have the right kind of fats. They don't have the right kind of healthy fats that we need, okay? So canola oil and vegetable oil are going to be the main things that you see for like Pam, like the spray. So if you use that, you want to go and check and see what kind of oil that is, okay? Like Daniel and I just use, we're going to talk about coconut oil, but Daniel and I use just like spray coconut oil. In your kitchen, you want to have like the oil, and then you obviously want to have the spray too, because you want to be able to spray baking dishes and anything like that. You need to. But you want to stay away from brands like Pam, and I think there's some other ones that have like a ton of ingredients. Like it should not have a million ingredients. It should have just the oil, okay? Okay, so let's talk about EVOO. This is a great one, okay? Now there's a difference between extra virgin olive oil and olive oil. And there's also a difference between coconut oil and extra virgin coconut oil, okay? You always want to do the extra virgin. That means it has been not processed. It is the most original form of the oil, and that's what we're looking for when we're doing clean eating, okay? That is the easiest way for our bodies to process these oils. Okay, now EVOO is a great source of healthy fat. It is what we're looking for, okay? It has antioxidants, it has monounsaturated fats, which is great. That's all perfect. But EVOO has a low smoke point, okay? And you've probably never heard that before. You're like, what? I've always been using EVOO. What? I can't cook with it? It is wonderful for salad dressings, for hummus, for, let's see, for dips, for vegetables, anything like that. But you don't necessarily want to like roast vegetables with it. If you're doing a very low like saute, like sauces, sauteing on a low temperature on your stovetop, it's fine, okay? But if you're trying to like roast vegetables or do anything in the oven, that this is not the oil you want to be using, because a low smoke point means that when it gets to that point where it's smoking, the compounds start to degrade, okay? And that's going to leave not so good health harming compounds in your body. So it starts out really good, okay, but you don't want to take it to that smoke point, okay, because then it's breaking down all the good things that we actually want. So that's one you want to keep in your kitchen though. Another one you want to keep in your kitchen, which is one that I use all the time, is coconut oil, okay? Coconut oil has the same nutritional values as EVOO. They're both about 120 calories per teaspoon, which is not that bad for a healthy fat. It's the saturated fats. Now, you're probably going, saturated fat. I've heard that I don't want saturated fat. You don't want all forms of saturated fat. But saturated fat from a plant-based protein, or a plant, not protein, we're talking about oil. This saturated fat is a plant-based saturated fat. That's okay, okay? Your body can digest that and can take that easily, okay? So that's okay. But it has the same nutritional value as extra virgin olive oil, so that's fine, okay? And then you want extra virgin coconut oil, okay? But it has a good smoke point, so that even if you're roasting veggies at like 400 or 375, like it won't lose the compounds that you want to for it to continue to have. It stays with good quality. It doesn't break down to those health harming compounds. So I hope this kind of goes over oils and kind of helps you get focused a little bit in oils. So the two things you should have in your kitchen for oils are going to be extra virgin olive oil and extra virgin coconut oil, okay? Extra virgin coconut oil is a solid when it's below 76 degrees, okay? So it's usually a solid in my house because I keep my house around 70 degrees. If you need it to be liquid, you just warm it up in the microwave for a second, or if you just take it out and you kind of start stirring it, it will start to kind of melt. And then you want to keep EVOO when you do those dressings and the hummus and the veggies and anything like that. And then you also want to keep a spray. You want a coconut spray, okay? Trader Joe's sells it for like $1.99, okay? And that's a great thing to have too. All right, guys, I hope this oil video kind of helped you, and I hope it steered you kind of in the right direction. So get rid of that canola oil, get rid of that vegetable oil, throw away the Pam. You don't want it. It's not following a clean eating habit lifestyle, and it's not really good for you. It's not heart healthy, and it does not help you in any way. All right, guys, I hope that helps.